Alright guys, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about how do we convert quadratic functions from standard form to vertex form. So let's start off by discussing, well, what in the world is a quadratic function anyway? Well, quadratics show up a lot, and you probably don't even notice it. If you think about the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, the cables which support it, it's a suspension bridge, form a parabolic or quadratic shape. If you ever have went to a water fountain and got water from a water fountain, you would notice that the water sprays in a quadratic shape. If you throw anything, if you kick anything, because of gravity acting upon it, it forms that parabolic shape or quadratic shape. The way that we represent quadratics with function notation is right here with, notice that it has an exponent or power of 2, as opposed to a linear function which graphs a line is just simply f of x is equal to, like, let's say 2x plus 5. Notice that its power is 1. Well, quadratics have powers of 2, or its degree, highest exponent is at 2. Now, quadratics map these parabolic shapes, so either opening downward or opening upwards. And we'll talk more about how we determine whether or not they open up or down or where they open and stuff like that later. Today, our only essential question is how do we convert between the two? So let's talk about vertex versus standard. Vertex form is written in the form a parentheses x minus h squared plus k, as opposed to standard form is written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Notice that vertex form has the parentheses where standard form does not. You don't have to write it as f of x if you don't want to. You can leave it as y if you want to put y is equal to. But this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be converting between the two forms. So let's start if I give you vertex form. So say, for example, I say that I give you this quadratic equation, and I ask you to convert it from vertex form, because it's in vertex form right now, to standard form. What we would first do is FOIL. So I'm going to put a box around the x minus 3 squared and literally write that out as x minus 3 times x minus 3. When I FOIL this, I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. I see that I do have some like terms, so I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 9. I'm going to put that in parentheses and bring everything else down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. I'm going to distribute this 2 to each of those terms. So I'm going to get 2x squared minus 12x plus 18, and then just bring down the plus 4. I don't distribute that 4 with that 2. Finally, I'm going to add my like terms. I notice that I have an 18 plus 4, so that gives me 2x squared minus 12x plus 22. And I can just put y equals. I'm going to pause for a second. Alright guys, now let's look if I give you the opposite. Let's say I give you something in standard form and ask you to convert it to vertex form. So notice the standard form has no parentheses. I want to go to vertex form, which resembles this. F of x equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, step 1, is identify what a, b, and c are. A, in this case, is 2, b, in this case, is 8, and c, in this case, is 3. The next thing I'm going to do is identify what h is. H is negative b over 2a. Well, since b is 8, negative b would be negative 8 over 2 times 2, so that would be negative 8 over 4, which would divide and give me negative 2. So my value for h is negative 2. My value for a is 2. So a is 2 and h is negative 2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug what I just got, negative 2, or h, into the equation to find the value of k. So I'm going to plug in negative 2 wherever I see an x in the original equation. I'm going to do some calculations. Negative 2 squared is 4. And then I'm going to multiply 8, so negative 16 plus 5, so negative 8 plus 5. So then that means k is negative 3. And so now I have everything I need to write my vertex form. If you remember, vertex form is a times x minus h squared plus k. We just said that a was 2. We said that h was negative 2. Well, if I put a negative 2, and this is minus a negative becomes a positive. So just remember to change your signs for the inside one. And then plus k. Well, k is negative 3. And so there is my vertex form. All right, that's it for now. Practice these, guys.